All right, this is what we're trying to get to today. We're gonna bottle and finish the honey mead and the blueberry mead. And it started from this. Welcome back to the channel. I can't wait to show you this video.
Never meant to break you, never meant for you to see all the darkness and pain left inside of me. Took me this long to find out you're all that I need.
Look at this mead after 60 days in the secondary. And it is time to rack this and get our bentonite in to filter it, refine it. All right, we're ready to get this bentonite in this mead, and we're going to add it to our carboys and rack it and get it in there mixed up to refine this. So the recipe you can see calls for 2 teaspoons for a half a cup of warm water. I'm actually gonna half this because remember, that's a 5-gallon recipe. We only have 2 gallons. So I'm just going to put 1 teaspoon of bentonite and a 1/4 cup of warm water. We'll get that mixed in, and then we'll divide it between the blueberry mead and the honey mead. All right, let's get 1 teaspoon. I got a half a teaspoon here, so we're going to add 2 of these. And then we'll mix this into a slurry. Milkshake consistency is what we're looking for. And remember, this is how it all started. Honey. Let's get this racked. I already can tell you I'm going to have a problem with that blueberry just because of how many blueberries in. But let's deal with that one last. Let's get this other regular mead, honey mead. I'm going to put it over in a bucket, clean that bottle, and then put it back in. We got our bentonite in, we're sterilized and washed this jug out. So now I'm just going to take what's in the bucket and just pour it back in here very slowly. You can see some of them bubbles coming up. That's just the sanitizer that was in there, so that's okay. We can get as much out of that as we want. So we're pretty much done here. I'm going to wash this off and get the airlock in, and then we'll get to the other one. I got that extra bentonite that we had left over. I put it in the bottom here and I sterilized everything, washed it, sanitized the funnel. We're going to add the blueberry wine back in here, or blueberry mead, I should say. And you're going to quickly see what the problem is, and I'll show you how I'm going to deal with it. Okay, you can see when we removed those blueberries, we got a lot more headspace than I like to have. So what do? I mean, would not hurt if I left it because I'm going to be stirring the bentonite. I'm not going to leave that in here long before I actually bottle it. But I made a little bit of a simple syrup just to bring it up a little bit. This is a half a cup of sugar and a half a cup of water that was just dissolved basically. So I probably could put a little bit more in, but I'm going to leave it as is. We will stir this bentonite up, let it sit in the basement. Again, we'll stir this bentonite for 3 to 4 days, and then we'll let it sit for about 30. This will be fine with that headspace. I'm not real worried about it. All right, let's sanitize our paddle here. We're going to let this on for about a minute or 30 seconds, and we'll get the tops off, and we want to stir this bentonite in, like I said, for 3 to 4 days, and then we're going to let it settle, and then we'll get it bottled. So let's get it stirred in. You can see some of the bentonite here. When I stir this up, you'll really see it mixing in. Don't worry about the clumps. As we stir this each day, these will go away. That's it. We'll get the airlocks back in. We'll get these in the basement. And like I said, we'll stir it next 3 to 4 days. And then we'll get to bottling. Get ready for that, because this mead is going to be amazing. 30 days later. Look at this. We are ready to rack our mead and bottle it. This is going to be a great day. You can see the bentonite at the bottom. That's what we want to get out. We'll stabilize it, add our Campden tablets, but it's looking good and it's ready to be bottled. All right, look at this. I've been waiting for this, to rack this honey wine or mead. Here we got the regular honey mead, and here we got that blueberry we did. Today, it's ready to rack to get all this wine off. We'll stabilize it, get our Campden tablets in here. But you can see, you probably can't see, but it's clear. Don't worry about this. This is all that bentonite that's left over, but it's gonna be a great day. I'm excited to show you this video. Make sure you click that like and subscribe button, and let's get into finishing this mead. All right, this is the only thing we're gonna need to get this bottled in this step. We're gonna need a Campden tablet, 1 per gallon, and then we're gonna need that potassium sorbate, which is stabilizer. When we back sweeten, you gotta put this in or you're gonna blow corks and have a mess. All right, we're gonna sweeten this mead up. So we wanna back sweeten it, and I wanna create a simple syrup. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a cup of sugar in here, and then I'm gonna add a cup of water. We're gonna just get this dissolved and cool it to room temperature so we can back sweeten this. So we'll give this a stir and we'll get it dissolved in. We're shooting for a clear mixture and no scraping of the sugar. It'll be right before boiling point. All right, you can see we're almost clear mixture here. Most of the sugar is dissolved and you can see it's almost to the boiling point. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna shut this heat off. Hopefully this will be enough to do both of our regular mead and our blueberry mead, but we can always mix up more for sure. All right, let's get our equipment in here that we gotta sanitize. We got the squirt bottle, you know we need that. We're gonna need about 8 corks, which is 4 per gallon. I don't think we'll get a total of 4 out of the blueberry because of how low it is, but we'll sanitize them anyway. You're gonna need a funnel, and you're definitely gonna need this racking cane so we can get that remaining bentonite out of there. And don't forget your paddle. We'll need this too. All right, let's get our chemicals in. We got 1 Campden tablet here. We're gonna crush between 2 spoons, and we're gonna put it at the bottom of this kettle. I'm kind of running out of buckets, so I'm going to use this. And then since we're back sweetening it, we want to use a 1/2 teaspoon of stabilizer. 1/2 teaspoon. All right, so we're ready to rack this. Get this off of here. And I got the bucket down below. All right, we got our racking cane in. We're gonna get a siphon going, and I'm gonna have this is going down into our kettle that we use to add the chemicals to. Now remember, we don't wanna get close to the bottom of this. We're gonna keep this racking cane very far from that bentonite. We don't wanna put anything of that into the wine. All right, I gotta apologize. I keep saying wine in this video, and it's mead I'm making. There's so many similarities between the two. It's just mead. You're starting out with honey in the fermenter and not the fruit. So we will slowly tilt it when it gets down here. And that's it. Remember, it's okay to waste a little wine, especially here at the end. We don't want to get any particles in this. So now we got our sanitized paddle. We want to stir that Campden tablet and stabilizer into this. And then we're going to start back sweetening this, tasting it as we go until we get it to where we want. All right, so now's the fun part. Remember we made that simple syrup. We want to add a little bit of this at a time and then taste it as we go. So I'm going to start with about a 1/4 cup there and see what it tastes like. So what I got here is I got a little shot glass and a sanitized straw, and I'm just going to put a little bit in there and see if it's where I want it to be. It's a little sweet, but not sweet enough. So we're going to add more. So I probably added another about 1/2 cup in here, And let's see where we're at. It's not real sweet. I would consider that semi-sweet, and that's where I want this. So I think we're done. Again, this is where it's kind of fun. You get to make it the way you want. If you like it dry, you don't have to add any of this sugar. So now, since we're making 1 gallon batches, but we have 2 here, we're going to need about 4 bottles per gallon. So I want to sanitize about 8 bottles. And we want to get this in here pretty good and get them going. All right, so what we got now is we got our wine bottle or tip on here, and we got the siphon going, and when we just push this down, the wine will flow through. We are hoping to get 4 bottles out of this. We want to get it up close to that neck, just enough to leave a little bit of airspace between the wine and the cork. So let's get these filled. Look at that. We got like 4 bottles out of this plus some. So I'm going to be able to add the rest to that blueberry that's a little shy. Let's get these 4 corked up. So there it is. We got the honey mead racked, bottled. Now we're just going to repeat the same process for this blueberry. I'm not going to bore you with the details. We'll fast forward through that and we'll check them out when they're done. So we got the campden tablets in here, some stabilizer, and we're ready to rack this blueberry. Remember, we're going to keep this as far away from that bentonite as possible. Get these chemicals stirred in, but you can see it's a beautiful color. It's gonna be a great blueberry mead. So let's get some simple syrup added in here. I already tried it. It's still very dry, so we're definitely gonna need some sweetener in this one. So we're taking our sample here. We probably added about a half a cup in there, so it's getting close. We're going to add a little more. Might as well just add the rest. It's not much left, but it's pretty close. That's perfect. All right, we got our bottles in here. You can kind of see I keep them in a bucket or something just in case there's an accident, but we're hoping that ain't going to happen. So let's get this siphon going. Look at that. It's a beautiful color. Blueberry mead. And you can see these bubbles. That's just sanitizer. That's okay. In fact, it's just forcing it out anyway, right? I'm hoping we get 4 bottles for that. Probably half a bottle we had with the honey mead. So this blueberry was a little lower. So we'll see if we get 4. Again, everything you're seeing here, I got links in the description. If you want to buy anything, you can just go right, click on them, and it goes right to Amazon. Let's bottle. And make sure for the first 14 days to a month that you're storing your wine in a bin like this, because if corks blow, at least you're containing it. So there it is. We just finished the mead. We got the regular honey mead or honey wine, and then we've got the blueberry mead. Now remember, mead is a little bit different than wine. This gets better with age. The longer you can go, the better it's going to be. You need it to go at least 1 year. If you can go longer, that's better yet. That's why I would suggest not doing it the way I did on a small batch scale. but do the 5-gallon batch. That's going to save you a lot of time. And since it's got to age so long, it's going to work so much better. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video. Make sure you click that like and subscribe. Until next time. Cheers.